Hey guys, welcome to the Happy Achiever Project. This is the podcast where we come to share tools, techniques, and stories that help you to manage your well being as you're going along and achieving those goals and dreams. So, in this podcast, we believe that you can achieve your goals and still maintain your well being, and we come to share how you can do that. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking with the lovely Lydia. And Lydia, can you pronounce your last name? I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, sure. It's Clemensovich. So my background is Polish.
Okay, Clemensovich.
Yeah,
Okay,
Clemensovich. Yeah.
okay. Thank you for joining us today. So I met Lydia at an event. She did an ETF tapping session with us, um, and it was so great. I enjoyed it because when I started trying to be more, trying to put my well being as a priority in terms of chasing your dreams, one of the first books that I came across was this book. It's called Five Simple Steps to Emotional Healing. And I was so stressed at the time. I had anxiety, and I just felt like my hormones were imbalanced and I felt like my emotions were all over the place. And I really wanted to get down to the root of what it was. So that's why this book called to me, because it was like emotional healing. I'm like, okay, what's that? And the book is really about meridian therapy, where it talks about different meridian points in our body that help us to release stress. And there's a tapping technique in there. There are different types of tapping techniques. And yeah, EFT was one of the techniques that is mentioned in the book. So I really wanted to learn it myself, like all those years ago. I have the book, but I haven't read it. I've started it. It was so complicated to learn the EFT method via reading. So when I went to this event and I saw you doing it, I was like, you have to show me how to do it. And I was like, okay, let's come on here and let's do it. Let's do it together. Let me show everyone what you're doing. So
Yeah.
I'm recording this episode. This episode is also going to go up on YouTube. I'm recording on my phone. Oh, I guess that's not a problem. Let's just get right into it. Lydia, can you tell me more about EFT and why it is good for relieving stress and anxiety?
Sure. And first, yeah, thank you so much for having me on, Chioma. It was so lovely to meet you at that event that we went to. I mean, the energy in that room was just so high vibe and
Right?
abundant,
Right?
beautiful, and loving. And to be around women who are also invested in this like growth journey and personal development and healing, it's so powerful. And it inspires you to continue to learn new things and to level up. So I'm just so
Yeah.
happy to be here. And that's exactly what you're doing on this podcast. So, yeah, thank you for creating this. And EFT is a holistic healing tool that combines modern psychology with Chinese acupressure. And another way to think of it is kind of like emotional acupressure. So it's literally using our own body and words to tap, like literally physically tap and talk through challenges and blocks that we may be facing that are causing emotional distress, such as stress or anxiety. And you're tapping through that problem, loving yourself despite feeling that issue or that challenge, and then tapping into what you want to be or the state that you want to go into. And so different tapping scripts can look different depending on the issue that you want to work on, whether it is stress or anxiety or confidence or money mindset, or you can even tap for fear of flying. Like literally there's
Mm-hmm.
no bounds and you can do it at any time. And so it's a very accessible tool for you to use and develop. And at first when you learn it, it might feel a little bit new or confusing or overwhelming. So just follow along with practitioners, watch a video, and use or watch or read through a script and then get the hang of it before you might feel confident enough to come up with your own tapping strips.
Mm-hmm. And what does it do for the people who, like, how does it relieve stress for people who do ETF? Because it's a temporary solution, right? It's something that relieves the stress. Is it okay? Is it a temporary solution? Is it a permanent solution? How often would someone have to do this to be able to truly relieve stress?
It depends on the person. Like, for example, I tap every day. I
Okay.
do not necessarily for stress. I do it for my business mindset and like confidence. So I do that
Hmm.
either in the morning or like early afternoon. And what tapping helps to do, because it's a body practice, it's also a language practice, it helps to regulate and stabilize our nervous system and go from sympathetic to parasympathetic. So oftentimes stress is something, a byproduct of another challenge or thing we're facing in life, and our nervous system feels like it's in that fight, flight, fawn or freeze mode, right? So it's really hard to come at these challenges and life obstacles if our nervous system is operating from that place, and it oftentimes is coming from the body and the stress or the trauma or the memories that the body is holding. So when we physically tap and speak out loud what we're going through, what we're doing is we're helping to clear and release those energetic blockages. We're helping to rewire our brain right in the moment, and we're helping to regulate our nervous system to that rest and digest calm place so we can tackle whatever is in front of us from a more empowered state. And
Yeah.
you can feel an immediate shift if you just do one tapping. I think it compounds over time. So like you might feel that immediate shift if you just tap for the first time today, but I really notice its effects when I practice it every single day or every other day. And it's a tool just like meditation or just like exercising. Like it's not just a one and done thing. You have to put in your reps and like build that energy over time.
Hmm. So even though it's something that may not be like that may be a temporary solution to relieving stress, you're saying that because it helps you to build more neural pathways, that it could also lead to permanent patterns of being.
Absolutely. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, like just like anything, you're rewiring those neural pathways and building a muscle, but I don't if it's again it's so individual and personal, right? Like you could tap for a year and then feel like you never need it again, or you can always just have it in your back pocket. For me, sometimes like because you can tap or use EFT for so many different things, maybe you
Yes.
use it at one chapter in your life for one thing, but maybe then you realize, oh, now I have a block in my career, and then you tap on like career and imposter syndrome or whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? So, or money mindset. So maybe you use it for stress at first or anxiety, but then you realize, okay, now I feel like I have that under control, but then other things are coming up in life. And so that's why EFT is so fantastic, because it doesn't just help you in one area.
Hmm. Okay, I think maybe we should dive into like an example so that
Mm-hmm.
any conversation that we have after this, people would have kind of an idea of what tapping is and how it works. So, can you take us through like a tapping session for anxiety?
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
when we met, we did a tapping session for relationships,
Mm-hmm.
but like you said, you can do it for any different things. So,
Yeah.
depends on the script that you have, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So I have a
Okay.
variety of my own scripts that I've developed for my clients and depending on what they need. And when Chioma and I met at this one event, I created that script specifically for that event and for that group of people. So I had never
Okay.
used that before. So this script is for, yeah, to help lower anxiety. And so what we want to do first before we start to tap is assess our level of intensity. So, Chioma, I'm going to ask you right now on a
Hmm.
level of 1 to 10, with 10 being like incredibly anxious and 1 being like not at all, where do you feel with your anxiety?
Right now, I don't feel anxious. I feel like I'm just trying to not be annoyed because there's a dog barking in the background and I can hear it and I'm recording an episode. And so I think that's what I'm suppressing. But anxiety wise, I can always call up different things that make me anxious. So let me call up something that's making me anxious in my life right now and see how on a scale of 1 to 10, there's this particular thing that I would say is an 8.
Okay.
Do
So
I have to be feeling that way, right? Like, is that what do I have to be feeling it at the moment to
no,
tap?
it's when you experience that the issue at its worst. Like how do you
Okay.
feel?
Yeah, definitely a 9.
Okay. So just we'll keep that number in mind.
Okay.
We don't judge it. We're just witnessing that number. And now we're going to tap. So please follow along with this video on YouTube if you can, because it's just easier to follow when you see. But if you're listening back, you want to get your forefinger and your middle finger together, and then bring
Right,
your
before we start, we are tapping to the idea that I called up, right? So I should just stay in that space, right?
no. We're just doing like a general lowering
A
anxiety.
general anxiety. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So grab those two fingers and then put your hand in a fist, and we're going to start by tapping on the outside of that fist, also known as the karate chop. And everybody can repeat after me out loud or in your head, although it feels more powerful when you say it out loud. So, even though I'm feeling anxious,
Even though I'm feeling anxious,
I accept myself and all of these feelings.
I accept myself and all of these feelings.
Even though I'm feeling anxious,
Even though I'm feeling anxious,
I accept myself and all of these feelings.
I accept myself and all of these feelings.
Even though I'm feeling anxious,
Even though I'm feeling anxious,
I accept myself and all of these feelings.
I accept myself and all of these feelings.
On your eyebrow now, I'm so upset.
I'm so upset.
Side of the eye, I'm so worried, anxious, and afraid.
I'm so worried, anxious, and afraid.
Under the eye, what if the worst happens?
What if the worst happens?
Under the nose, what will I do?
What will I do?
How will I handle that?
How will I handle that?
Chin, it's all up to me and I'm feeling overwhelmed.
It's all up to me and I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Collarbone, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
Under the arm, I'm so worried, upset, and anxious.
I'm so worried, upset, and anxious.
Top of the head, I just want everything to be over
I just want everything to be over
because I can't handle this stress.
because I can't handle this stress.
Okay, back to the karate chop. Even though I'm worried and stressed out,
Even though I'm worried and stressed out,
I choose to be calm, confident, and relaxed.
I choose to be calm, confident, and relaxed.
Even though I'm worried and stressed out,
Even though I'm worried and stressed out,
I choose to be calm, confident, and relaxed.
I choose to be calm, confident, and relaxed.
Eyebrow, calm, confident, and relaxed.
Calm, confident, and relaxed.
Side of the eye, I choose to know that everything is going to be okay.
I choose to know that everything is going to be okay.
Under the eye, I choose to see that in this moment I'm safe and all is well.
I choose to see that in this moment I'm safe and all is well.
Under the nose, I choose to be calm, confident, and relaxed.
I choose to be calm, confident, and relaxed.
Chin, calming down now, relaxing my body.
Calming down now, relaxing my body.
Collarbone, It feels good to take a break.
It feels good to take a break.
I deserve this.
I deserve this.
And I choose to feel calm, confident, and relaxed.
And I choose to feel calm, confident, and relaxed.
Under the arm, I am calm, confident, and relaxed.
I am calm, confident, and relaxed.
And top of the head, I accept myself and my situation completely.
I accept myself and my situation completely.
And I choose to feel calm, confident, and relaxed.
And I choose to feel calm, confident, and relaxed.
Everything is going to be okay.
Everything is going to be okay.
Amazing. And now you can stop tapping and take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And now I want you to go back to this scale of 1 to 10. And how do you feel?
I would say a 6.
Amazing. Yeah.
Mostly because the dog is still barking, but yeah, I think it's definitely a 6. Like I don't feel like before I was trying to really just suppress it, but like there's really nothing I can do about it at this point. So there's really no point stressing. Is what I'm thinking right now. Like
Yeah.
so, it's not the stress or the annoyance, or um, it's not a it's not a best it's the best thing to feel because there's nothing I can do with it at this point. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking now, as opposed to before where I was like, just try to keep it together to get through this. So
Yeah. That's amazing, Chioma. I mean, any moving down even 1 point is progress, right? We
mhm.
have to like
Okay.
appreciate that.
Yeah. I noticed like what you did. So you had uh two different circles. The first one was just talking about the problem, and then the second one was like saying an opposite to what you would want to feel instead. What is the psychology behind that?
Yeah, so again, and I even cut that script in half. Like it's a little bit longer. So
Okay.
it's you can do like several rounds of EFT depending on the issue and how long you want to go for. So really the first round is or the first few rounds usually are identifying the problem, like speaking it out loud. And that's also because often, and you kind of just said this, right? We suppress. We want to deny or avoid or suppress what we're feeling because we think that might make it easier, or we want to push through what we're feeling. We're like, oh, I don't have time to feel this way right now. But what
Yeah.
happens, as we know, that just magnifies the issue and it still is living in our body at a subconscious level, and it's impacting our energy levels, how we're showing up in our day, to our relationships, and to our purpose in this life. And so the psychology is just like naming what we're feeling, and we're not identifying with being that. We're not saying like I am anxious. We're saying I'm feeling anxious, right? It's a feeling state. And so we're also removing some of its power in that moment by speaking it out loud, and then
Yeah.
by loving and accepting ourselves in the midst of that, because that's really what holds us back a lot from feeling is like we feel shame around it, versus like if we tell ourselves that we love ourselves and accept how we're feeling, it's then easier to go to the next step, which is calling in how we want to feel.
Yeah. Interesting. So how did you get into it? How did you get into EFT? EFT, yeah.
Yeah, EFT. So I learned about EFT in 2020, and I was going through some rough heartbreak, and after a situationship that I was in dissolved and really brought up a lot of my own inner abandonment wounds and fears of like insecurity, self-doubt, unworthiness, anxiety, I signed up for a group coaching program almost immediately because I thought I don't like the way this feels in my body. Like it felt physically uncomfortable to feel that anxiety. And I realized it was showing me something deeper that I needed to heal. and I just realized I couldn't do it alone. I was watching all of these like YouTube videos, and that was giving me some information, but like that can only take you so far, right? And so I really wanted to seek
Yeah.
that deeper accountability and learn about other tools. And through this group coaching program that I did, I learned about EFT, and I started doing it every single day. And I was like, where has this been all my life? It literally just, it changed my life, like that, in addition to other tools, right? And that's the best part, is it's a really good tool in your healing toolbox along with everything else. Like I was already meditating before. I've been meditating for years,
Mm-hmm.
almost every day, but EFT is, it's a different thing because it helps your body a lot more. It like literally helps me physically feel that shift and that change. And so I was introduced to it then. And then last summer, I was doing an online coaching certification program, and there was a module all about EFT and tapping in that. So I was like, yes, like I want to use this with my clients now. And I really support people a lot with similar challenges that I've gone through when it comes to our feelings of worthiness and our security in our own self, when it comes to our relationship to ourself and our relationship to others. And so I use EFT with my clients when it comes to dating anxiety, when it comes to the fear of love and being loved. Like I use tapping on that too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real deep wound that a lot of people are walking around with. And so that
Yeah.
tapping helped me. And so I use that with my clients as an additional aspect of like other modalities that I include.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And what is the most time, like in terms of transformation, what is the least time you've seen someone transform with EFT, and what is the most time you've seen someone transform with EFT?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think like I had one client where I saw like it shift immediately in her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beautiful thing when I guide somebody like through a session virtually, is because sometimes EFT doesn't quite hit people right away. It depends. That's
Yeah.
why it's so personal. And if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. It's all good. Like you'll find something else. But I would recommend people try it a few times and try different
Mm-hmm.
scripts before you decide. Because it feels weird at first. You're like, I'm feeling anxious. Like, you're like, this feels
Yeah.
interesting and new. But for some people, it's
Especially,
immediate.
yeah, especially with like go-getters and people who are
Yeah.
chasing success. I feel like we
Yeah.
try to suppress a lot of the things that we're actually feeling. You try to get something, you don't, you fail at it. This is the second time I'm recording this episode. So, things, little things like that, instead of acknowledging that, okay, this was a problem, we just push it aside.
Yeah.
We push it aside and we keep going. And sometimes it stays with us. Some of the things that we push aside stay with us unhealed and kind of keep our body in that fight or flight state. And we find it difficult to go back to the rest and rejuvenation state, which is the scientific word for it is para.
Parasympathetic. Yeah.
What is it again?
Parasympathetic nervous system.
I always forget how to say. I always forget how to say it. But yeah, I feel like with go getters, we really need to learn how to be able to come back to balance, and we need to learn how to acknowledge that, okay, this thing did not work and it affected me. I'm sad about it, but I still accept myself. I'm still a good person. That doesn't change who I am. Doesn't make me less. So that doesn't make me unworthy of what it is that I want to achieve. So I think
Yeah,
this is a really good tool. Thank you for sharing it
of
with
course.
us. Where can people find you, and what should they reach out to you for?
Sure. So people can find me on Instagram at Heal with Lydia. You can also reach out to me on email, healwithlydia@gmail.com. And yeah, on Instagram, I have a bunch of different tips and like advice and videos and all the things. People can really reach out to me if they are struggling to love themselves or feel secure and worthy just in their relationship to themselves, if they're struggling with friendships, or if they want to heal from heartbreak, and if they want to really step into their power in their love life and go from
Yeah.
stuck to unstoppable. Like this is really my bread and butter is helping people let go of limiting beliefs and break free from like old patterns that are keeping you stuck and repeating these like same situations in your love life so that you can attract healthy and happy love. And that's in romantic way, that's in your friendship, that's in your communities. Like this impacts all of your relationships. And so I take my clients through 2 month or 3 month experiences and transformative journeys to really step into that and break free from past selves that are holding you back from manifesting your deepest desires. So get in touch with me if you want to work deeper on that.
Well, thanks a lot for sharing. And guys, don't forget to practice the mini session that we did today, because you know what? You can read about it, you can watch it, but if you don't actually do it, it's not going to help you. Like, you're not going to be able to say, okay, this is for me, this is not for me, I'll try something else, right? So try this mini session. And also, you can get some scripts from Lydia. I think she mentioned before that she had a couple of scripts. You can get some free scripts from her to try, and let me know what happens. Send me an email at thehappyachieverproject@gmail.com. Let me know if you try it. Let me know what your thoughts are. And let me know what techniques you're using to be able to help maintain your well-being and maintain your happiness while you're going for your dreams and while you're chasing success. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Lydia, for showing up
Thank
and
you.
for coming a second time. Guys, this is the second time I'm recording this episode. So really, I needed that EFT tapping that we did for this second time, because I was like, the first one, the video didn't show up, and it was all over the place. And now we have a dog barking. I had to take myself away from that room to a different room, but it's worked out. We have an episode, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's what the
Thank
benefits
you.
is like, really helping you practically in your day to day.
Yeah. All
Thanks,
right. Thank you
Chioma.
so much. Take care. Bye.
Bye.